I'm Dana.
And welcome to the Donta Show.
What's up, Village? It's your boy Kwame, the man with the plan behind the stands. Before we get into it, do me a favor. If you are on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or whatever, hit that share button so people can see what the fuss is all about. Don't worry if it's the end of the show. They can catch the replay. We're trying to spread the love instead of spreading the lies, y'all. All right, let's get into it. Did you know that our boy Dante Morrison is a best-selling author? Do you like smut? Yes, smut. Well, these books are filled with it. Check out The End of the Rainbow, followed by the sequel, Yesterday Clarified. You can get them on Amazon, or if you are tired of giving Jeff Bezos the time of day, you can visit www.dantemorrison.com, where, in fact, you will find out more about the motivational, inspirational, hilarious host known as Dante. Mr. Morrison, if you're nasty. He is not only the host of TDS, he is a public health advocate, motivational speaker, and community change agent. Articles, interviews, blogs, podcasts, vlogs, and more. You name it, and Dante has done it. Speaking of vlogs, have you subscribed to the Dante Show YouTube? Now, every villager should be subscribed. The more the channel grows, the bigger TDS messaging becomes. It's really simple. Go to www.youtube.com/Dante Morrison. And also, did you want to be a guest on the Dante Show? Or do you want to book Dante or Dana on your platform? Stop. Don't inbox him, don't email him, or even call him. You know what you need to do? Go ahead and open your handy-dandy smartphone or Wi-Fi enabled device and send an email to info@pyromedianetwork.com and request your presence on the show. It's 2021, y'all, and Donta and Dana has got management. So, let's conduct business. Speaking of management, the Dante Show is produced by Pyro Media Network. We are a Black-owned digital marketing and video production agency helping businesses and brands make an impact with their message. We also help businesses navigate what we call the biggest communication shift in over 500 years, social media. So, if you have a business, brand, or influence, and you want to take it to the next level, contact us today. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we hope to see you on the next. Boom.
What's up, Village? What it do, what it do, what it do. Happy Taco Tuesday. We are back for another round of the Dante Show. Don't worry, Dana is running a tad bit late, but he will be here shortly. But in the interim, I am all you got right now, and I hope that I am enough. Sorry, but my green screen is not working on tonight, so you get to see my home office. You see pictures of my family and all kind of stuff. I'm allowing you into my space. Welcome. Come on in. So prayerfully, everyone has had a blessed Tuesday. There's been a lot of events, a lot of occurrences. And tonight we're going to dig deep into the Black experience because, as you know, the Dante Show is all about Blackness, bliggity black, black all day, black today, black tomorrow, black yesterday. And we're going to unpack a conversation that I think is very important because oftentimes we hear people say, oh my God, they ain't black enough. Oh my God, they too black. We're going to unpack that and we're going to figure out what does that really mean and why do we keep saying that? So as you prepare for tonight's show, go ahead and start inviting your friends, your family, your cousins, your loved ones, all that. Bring them on into the show. Get them on up in here. Shaw, where you been, sis? Where you been? Where you been, Charlene? I have not seen you in a month of Sundays. I'm glad that you are okay. Condolences out to you, my sister. Praying for you and the family. I know all about your loss, so praying for you. But I'm glad that you're able to tune in on tonight. And to everybody out there that is going through any kind of situation or season right now, I am praying for you. I am asking God to protect, cover, and give you the peace that you need and the strength that you need to make it through whatever journey you are on right now. We are a village, and each one reach one. It takes all of us to just surround our loved ones, our brothers, our sisters, our friends, our family, and let them know, yo, I got you. I got you. I may not got you physically or the way you need me to be there, but spiritually, I am throwing your name up and into God's lap and say, Lord, cover my brother and my sister. So that just hit my heart to say right now. So prayerfully, that you felt that touched you, and I mean it dearly. All right, so here we go. So y'all know every episode we do a Black History Spotlight. I'm gonna start asking y'all to inbox me who you think we should be spotlighting. Inbox me who you think we should be spotlighting and highlighting. If you know of a Black history icon or someone that I have overlooked that you feel is important, it's all about us educating ourselves. I don't know if Kyrie Sinaj is watching, but Kyrie Sinaj and I had an interesting, quick little convo today, just about the Black experience and about how so much information is now being stripped from history books and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to talk about it on tonight's show. And he said that it's important, basically for Black families, to educate their own. We got to educate our own kids. But when you talk about educating your own kids, it's really something about, hold on one second. Let me comment. Yeah. So when we talk about educating our own kids, we have to make sure that we also are educated and that we're also abreast of everything that's going on. Because there's nothing like being left out in the dark, and then your child is left out in the dark as well. Amen. Can I get an amen? So something happened on today. We're going to talk about that after the Black History Spotlight. Something happened, well, not today, but something happened this week that really shocked the heck out of me. And I was like, you got to be kidding. And we're going to talk about that. So stay tuned. But right now, we're going to do this Black History Spotlight. And this Black History Spotlight is featuring an artist that we all know and love. And when you see this artist, I want you to put into the thread your favorite song by this artist, or your favorite song by this artist, your favorite memory about this artist, something about this artist that you love and admire. And here we go. It's time for the Black History Spotlight. Y'all see that? Rick James. Today, the Black History Spotlight is on Rick James. So I ask you right now, put in your favorite Rick James song, put in your favorite Rick James memory, because the Black History Spotlight, who we consider icons, it's kind of funny how we pick and choose who the icon should be. But listen, Rick James is an icon. All right, so if y'all don't think he is, hey, buckle up. Musician and singer James Ambrose Johnson Jr., better known as Rick James, was born on February 1st, 1948 in what? Buffalo, New York, Dana's hometown. He is the third of 8 children and was raised in a strict Catholic household by his single mother. It is something by these artists who were raised in these strict religious homes that when they let loose, and when they can be free, they go all the way there. Prince being one, Rick James being another one. All right. So with music in his blood, his uncle was Melvin Franklin, the bass vocalist from The Temptations. Did y'all know that? That Rick James' uncle was a part of The Temptations, and he started pursuing his music career at an early age. All right. So we all know that he got some career highlights. His debut album was Come and Get It with the single You and I and Mary Jane. I love Mary Jane. Mary Jane is one of my favorite Rick James songs, but that's because I didn't know what Mary Jane was all about. I thought Mary Jane was talking about a woman. You know what, Mary Jane. Lo and behold, Mary Jane was not talking about a beautiful female. Mary Jane was talking about what? So if y'all know what Mary Jane was talking all about, go ahead and put that in those comment sections and let the streets know that you know what Mary Jane is. But then he had Fire and Desire. Fire and Desire, the iconic duet with the legendary Tina Marie. And then Rick James also had the Mary Jane Girls. All right. So his biggest hit was the Grammy nominated Super Freak, released in 1981 on the album Street Songs. All right. Sadly, we got this drug abuse and all that. Cocaine use spun out of control, and he was accused of assaulting 2 women. He spent 2 years in jail and paid $2 million in a civil lawsuit. Rick James died in his Burbank, California home on August 6, 2004. So if you are a Rick Jamesonite, and if you can appreciate Rick James and all Rick James brought to the music industry, go ahead and show some love. Give it up for Rick.
Yeah.
Give it up for Rick, y'all. Give it up for Rick. Let me see. Hold up. Let me see. So let's see. Yeah, Ty, Slick Rick. Slick Rick was the name. But Rick James, Mary Jane. Mary Jane was about that. The devil's lettuce, drugs, cannabis, that broccoli. Mary Jane was about the stuff that you needed to get you through, some of y'all to get you through the day. But Rick James was an icon, and we will never forget that speech he gave. I forgot which award show was it, when he used the B word in iconic fashion. I forgot what award show. Was it the BET Awards? Was it the Grammys? I forgot the award show was, but Rick James, said it's Rick James. Basically, he started the whole put some respect on it type vibe. So y'all give it up for BET Awards. Thank you, Thais. Give it up for the BET Awards and Rick James and Tina Marie. No shade. Tina Marie, blue-eyed soul, blue-eyed queen. Tina Marie was boss. So we cannot sleep on Tina Marie. So Dana, are you with us? Is your Wi-Fi ready, dog?
Hey man, you see, I had to make some moves.
Yeah, I'm trying to call you out. But your Wi-Fi.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. I have 2 white Wi-Fis. I don't know what's going on with the one in the back house, but you know what I'm saying. I think we're gonna have to get that reassessed.
Yeah, we back with the Steelers. We back with Keisha Cole. We back with Kiki again. And we didn't say rest in peace to Frankie. Keisha Cole's mom. Many of you guys know Keisha Cole's mom passed away. If you are a fan of Keisha Cole, if you're not a fan of Keisha Cole, you know Frankie. And Frankie basically, to me, Frankie put Keisha Cole on the map with that show, because I love me some Frankie, and I thought Frankie was just the best thing. And I saw Frankie one time. I met her. We had a conversation. She was literally at the Sprint store by my job, and she was holding a tall can. So I'm going to say, holding a tall can. And I was like, Frankie, yeah, what you want? What you need? What's going on? And I was like, how you doing? I'm good. What you want? What you need? I was like, no, I'm just saying, it's good to see you. Yeah, I'm out here just trying to do what I do. And we was having this conversation, and I'm like, God dang, it's like your daughter is Keisha Cole. Your daughter is like this millionaire, and you bought it. But she was so cool and so approachable. So, hey, rest in peace to Frankie, and prayers up for Keisha and Neffy, and just all the heirs that came from Frankie. So, them. We got to just say it. Drugs is no joke. Drugs is no joke.
Exactly.
And regardless of how a person lives their life, that addiction will call your name. We've lost a lot of great artists, great individuals because of addiction. And we don't talk about addiction enough in the Black community, but addiction is real. It is real. And addiction has just really taken some great ones. But thank you, Thais. Rest well, Frankie. Yes, definitely. The battle is over. The battle is over. The battle is over. Okay. All right. So this is your first time watching the Donta Show. Make sure to check us out on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/Donta Morrison. youtube.com/Donta Morrison. Subscribe. And don't just subscribe to the Donta Show. Subscribe to all the shows on Pyro Media Network. All right. Pyro Media, it has the Donta Show. It has, Kim, 10-minute tips with Kim. We got the Thais Report. It has Titan Capri. We have so many shows on Pyro Media. Just go to YouTube and just like all of us. All of us give you good quality content. All of us give you the time that you need. All of us are talented when it comes to doing this. All of us are knowledgeable. So we ain't giving you no shim sham stuff.
Right.
Power produces some good content. So keep it black, keep it strong. All right. So let's get into tonight's conversation. So Dana, I'm not sure if you saw what happened in Texas amongst the Texas Senate. But I really want to unpack that and talk about it because I'm talking to my people. I'm talking to my Black and brown family. Hola, Michelle, ¿cómo está? Hola, ¿cómo está, Michelle? Michelle Tillis. So Michelle Tillis, Michelle Fernandez Tillis made me some chicken enchiladas in honor of getting my doctorate, and my toes was curling. Dana, do you know someone so good when your toe is curling? Have you ever had something so good that your toes curl?
Oh, we talking about food, right?
Yeah, let's talk about food.
Yes, I have.
So let me say this. So Michelle gave my enchiladas and the whole nine. I come home, you got to get in the right position to eat.
Exactly. Shoes off, socks off.
Yeah, I'm like, I know these are gonna be lit, so I was ready for it. So I made the plate, and she made me the rice and the special sauce, and I got the plate and I bit into it, and it was just this gooey goodness with just authentic Mexican flavor. And the next thing I saw was my big toe was touching my chin because my toe curled so bad that it just hit my chin. I said, God dog, that's my big toe. I done put this in my mouth and my big toe is in my face. Michelle, you did that.
Can't be telling us you can't be sharing your moves with everybody.
It was
exactly.
It was amazing. So Michelle, thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. So the conversation I want to talk about is the Texas Senate. And Kwame, I don't know how you have it. If you got an image of it or not, but if not, it's all good. You do. Kwame don't play.
Kwame's our guy. He's on it.
Right. Kwame is our guy. Texas Senate passes a bill removing Martin Luther King and suffrage from the required curriculum.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Listen, so let's unpack this. So basically, the Texas Senate says you ain't got to teach about Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" speech. You ain't got to teach about Native American history. You ain't got to teach about civil rights work by Cesar Chavez, Dolores Huerta, MLK, Frederick Douglass. You ain't got to talk about the women's suffragists. That ain't required to be taught no more. And what you also don't have to do is shame the Ku Klux Klan. You don't have to say that the KKK is this racist organization that has killed countless Black people, not killed, lynched countless Black people. You ain't gotta say that. You ain't gotta say that. So I'm trying to figure out. So what do they teach about in these Texas schools if y'all not gonna talk about everything that has gone down in America? And this is why it is so important for people of color, people of color, to really understand why critical race theory is so crucial. It's so crucial. We are walking around with our heads in the clouds, and nothing. We're so focused on petty stuff. We're so focused on things that really ain't, as catastrophic as this, because this is catastrophic. This is catastrophic. Right. Basically, what they just told you is that your kids are going to go to school. I don't care if you Black, brown, yellow. Your kids are going to go to school, and they teachers ain't got to mention diddly about what your people went through and what your people contributed, what your people suffered. So the little girls are not going to learn about the women's suffrage, all that kind of stuff. Latino children are not going to learn about Dolores Huerta, Cesar Chavez. Not going to learn about that. Black kids are not going to have the opportunity to unpack MLK's "I Have a Dream" speech. What was you dreaming about? What was going on? Why is that so important? So this is my thing. How many of you parents out there are versed enough in the culture of your race and ethnicity to fill in the blanks and fill in the gaps? Because we also have a lot of parents who are not abreast of some of this stuff. We got a lot of parents out there that still is like, well, I don't really know a lot about it either. So I got this far, so I guess it's not that important. important. So yeah, I don't know. And it was I mean, the Senate passed this 18-4. 18-4 passed it that this is not a requirement. So Dana, as a parent, how does that make you feel? What's up, Myron? Fam bam. How does that make you feel, Darren? Dana, as a parent, knowing that the kids in Texas are not going to get a comprehensive education about race and ethnicity in America?
I think that conversation starts at home anyways. Before, you already prepare your children as Black children for stuff like this, to anticipate change and certain things like this. So we as parents, we should already prepare our kids for these type of things. And this may change, or even just educate them about racism and things like that already. So when things like this happen, it won't be such a shock to them. And then when they won't have to ask all the why questions and why not and this, that, and the other, because you're already educating them as young children. So as they get older, they can see these things already happening and see them before they happen, see how the society is, see where we sit in society in this country and things like that. So we already educate our boys on racism, police brutality with the young Black men and brown men, because they ask the questions, especially in this day and time with social media. The kids could be watching cartoons on YouTube, and then all of a sudden the George Floyd thing, the entire video pops up.
Right.
Everything even if you got it blocked, it finds its way onto the kids' YouTube and the kids' little Facebook apps and the kids' stuff. This stuff finds their way on there. So, and we have family in Texas, so it's really hard. When I heard about that, I didn't know quite what it meant. And I read up on it and I was like, this is crazy. I said, because there's going to be a lot of uneducated Black children and brown children and some white children. White
children are being protected.
Yeah, protected.
From atrocities of their grandparents.
Yeah.
Period. Blank. This is all about making sure these little white kids, Becky and Billy, making sure they're protected and not to feel ashamed about their heritage, not to feel ashamed about what their people did to every indigenous person that has stepped foot on America, and the indigenous people that were here before their grandparents stepped foot on American soil. So this is not about not sharing information. This is about making sure that these little white kids are not traumatized by the atrocities that their Black and brown and yellow classmates experience and what they have to go through. So, and Brian made a good point. So when these kids are not in school on MLK Day, when these kids are not in school on all these holidays, what they gonna tell these kids? Why are you out of school? So when a kid go home to their mom, to their white mom, why are we home? Oh, it's just a holiday. Oh, okay, whatever. But the kids have no idea that they're home because Martin Luther King Jr., one of the most prominent civil rights activists ever, got this holiday. So I don't understand how this even makes sense. I don't understand how this was even passed. Somebody asked, are there no Blacks on the Texas Senate? I don't know, but I would not be surprised if there is a Black on there that voted in favor of this. We always shock ourselves for some reason. It's always one in the mix. It's like, yeah, you're right. I don't have Jaquan. How are you saying this is right? And yes, Cheryl, thank you. It's to protect white supremacist ideology. Critical race theory has got white people shaking in their boots. They are shaking like, well, wait a minute. They're trying to teach the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Yes, we're trying to teach the whole truth and nothing but the truth about what happened in America. Right. That's all critical race theory is, period. But now you're saying you don't have to teach about MLK. You don't have to teach about, Latino leaders. You don't have to teach about Native Americans. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. So, of course, if you got this white teacher that's already on the construct of white supremacy, she's not going to teach that because she doesn't feel that Twanisha and all them, that you don't need to know about all that. Just know that you're in America, and America is the land of the free, and you are going to thrive, and you're going to be great in America, little colored girl. You're going to be just fine. It's infuriating. It is infuriating. And what is more infuriating is the fact that more of us are not infuriated.
Right.
That's the part that frustrates me. I posted this on my Facebook page today, and it got three likes and 2 comments. I post some BS about anything else, and the thread is on fire. I'm like, why are more of us not bothered by the fact that the largest state in America, has just done away with the history of people of color?
I'm gonna do you, Dante. It's not the largest state in America. That's what you would have said to me, because you're Dante. Kwame, tell him I'm right. He would have corrected me. You already know, Kwame.
Yes.
What state is bigger than Texas?
Alaska.
Okay, I'll give you that. The largest state on the North American continent is Texas. You know,
look at in the southwest region.
Right, in the southwest region. All right, so listen. So let's read this comment real quick. Then we're gonna do a quick commercial break and come back in part 2. So Martinez Sellers said they aren't doing anything new. They have always not written us in the history of this nation. It's no surprise. True. I agree. It's always been a watered down version of our history and the history of people of color. But they have never come forth and said, you don't have to teach it.
Exactly.
You know, it's always been skimmed down. They never got in depth. But they just said, you ain't even got to teach it.
You ain't even got to teach it.
It ain't that important. Teach about George Washington and all the great white men and what they did to make this nation great. Yeah, they slaughtered, they mutilated, they massacred, they lynched. That's what they did to make America great. And then they voted somebody into the White House to make it great again.
Right.
We ain't gonna talk about that. My frat brother Mikhail said, could it also be a part of society realizing that they will no longer be a majority race? Aha. So, Mikhail, you're onto something. You're onto something. Yes, because as people of color become more empowered in the truth, as people of color begin to be more vocal about what the truth is, as people of color begin to take the reins back, yes, that majority population is sitting there like, oh, we got to do something to stop all this movement. You know what? Let's stop teaching about their history. If we wipe out their history, then they cease to exist. If their kids are growing up not knowing who they are, guess what? We're back on the plantation. Back on the plantation. We are freed slaves. So you got to think about the bigger picture. You got to think about the bigger picture. Right. I mean, yes. Dr. Phelps, we must present critical race theory from an academic perspective and leave out emotions. We must do that. We got to do that from an academic perspective, but we cannot deny our children the opportunities to learn the truth, especially children of color. They need to learn the truth about themselves. They need to learn the truth about their origins. They need to learn the truth about how they got here, because they have to value themselves. Exactly. If our little black and brown kids are sitting in a classroom and all they're hearing about is the beauty of white Americans and how white Americans made this country great, they're going to sit there feeling like, well, what did we do? Then they're going to go home to their mommy or their daddy, who, sad to say, is not as versed in history either, and it's just going to be quiet.
What this is going to do, and I'll touch on it after the commercial.
All right, Kwame, take us to commercial, y'all. We gotta breathe. We gotta breathe. Don't go. the second half of the Dante Show. We appreciate y'all for tuning in and being with us. If you are not a subscriber to our YouTube page, please make sure to go to youtube.com/Dante Morrison, youtube.com/Dante Morrison, and subscribe to the Dante Show. Please invite your friends, your family, your cousins, and your loved ones to partake in these wonderful conversations that myself and Dana have every Monday and Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on Facebook Live and YouTube. You like that, Dana? All that, no words, not written, just off the dome. Kwame, if you can post what Michelle Fernandez-Tillis said, I think that's a great pseudo summation. As parents, it's our true responsibility to teach about our heritage. I think that is so important. And Michelle, thank you for typing that. I think that is so important because I am a stickler for parental involvement in the lives of your child's education. I grew up in an era where the PTA actually was a PTA and had parents present. You know, I grew up in an era where the whole neighborhood knew your grades. The whole street asked where your school books are. You know, the whole street knew when you're supposed to go to school. You know, and I think as parents, you know, it is your responsibility to be involved in the education of your children. So although the Texas Senate passed this bill, I am waiting to see how the parents respond to this, especially the parents that are entrenched in their heritage and understand the importance of their child knowing where they came from. Then you want to add something?
Yeah, and you actually touched on what I was going to touch on. This is probably going to push a lot of parents to start homeschooling their children. They may, you know, take their children out of the school system altogether and start homeschooling their children if they have the means to do so.
Well, I mean, most kids were homeschooled all 2020, and some parents couldn't handle it.
Right.
You know, some parents couldn't even do the basic math problems with their kids. They're like, oh my God, I don't understand this stuff. You know, so we got to make sure we got parents that are prepared to homeschool.
Right, exactly. That's what I said. That's why I said if they're able to do so.
Right. Most def. All right, so our question of the day. Here we go, y'all. Our question of the day. Kwame, you got it ready? Ba-da-da. Question of the day. Is there such a thing as acting too black? Darren, why do I keep calling you Darren? I got to pray for somebody named Darren. I must got to pray for somebody named Darren because Darren keeps coming up. All right, Lord, whatever it is, touch Darren. Touch him right now. All right, so Dana, is there such a thing as acting too black, in your opinion?
I'm not sure what acting too black is or acting black is. I think when other cultures take on our persona and our culture, I think they're acting per se, if I can say that correctly, without offending. I think they're not trying to act black. I think they're trying to take on the Afro-American culture to some degree, as far as they can take it. Some people do take it overboard. But I don't think there's a thing of acting black, just like there's not a thing of acting white. If I talk proper, I'm not trying to be white. I'm just educated, and I know how to use my words. So I hate when people do that with black. Oh, he's a white boy, or he's whitewashed. No, he's educated. He's a doctor. He graduated from Harvard Law School. He's educated. He's well versed. So, you know,
he just didn't grow up in the hood.
Right. Just because he didn't grow up in the hood doesn't mean that he's still a black man. He just wasn't raised in, you know, whatever ethnic hood that is.
Right. Because we asked a question a few months ago, and people could not really capture it. We said, well, what is the black culture?
Exactly.
You know, we know what the Latino culture is. You know, we know what the Asian culture is. But what is the black culture? And some would argue that the black culture is being hoodish or ghetto. That's the black culture. But like Steph said, black is not a monolithic experience. And I agree with that. So the question that I asked, how the beauty Topic of tonight. The beauty of being Black is that there are so many interpretations of identity.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Now, however, there are also debates that question whether a person's Blackness is Black enough to represent the experience faced by the whole. Okay, so I asked this question because I overheard a conversation today where the person said, when you get on the phone, make sure you don't come across sounding too Black. And I'm looking like, what does sounding too Black mean? What is too Black? So Joseph just said, I grew up getting told all the time by family and friends that I acted white because I like to read and went to a gifted school. See, you just talked about that, Dana. So do Black people, I'm trying to say it's the right way. Do we shame educated Black people?
Yes, I think a lot of people do. I think a lot of people do, because the first thing to come out of someone's mouth when they see a well-educated Black woman or a Black man, the first thing they think they're better than us, or they think they're uppity. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, I just chose to go this path. You chose to go that path. Not saying that the path that you're on is bad. It's just the path that I went to. I learned how to speak. I learned how to put words together. I learned how to do paragraphs. Just like the young man, or what you were saying, don't get on the phone and be too Black. I think what that statement means is don't get on the phone and don't sound like you're uneducated. Because of the word choices you may use. Like, go ahead.
I'm sorry, but that right there is evidence of an ingrained trauma. When you said don't sound like you're not educated, because that's too Black. Because remember when they brought us over in ships, we were educated in Africa. We always say, Black folks didn't exist once we hit America. We've been Black all along, and we was educated in Africa. We had our customs, our traditions in Africa. We came to this new world. No, we couldn't speak English. No, we did not do that. So they felt that we were ignorant, we were stupid, we were dumb because we talked in this broken dialect.
They didn't feel that. Kind of they didn't feel that. They said that. They
said that.
And then we didn't come. We were forced. So So
put it in context. Correct me, bro. Put it in context.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. I'm just saying. But like you said, we were educated in our own language, in our own dialect, in our own way of doing things, in our own culture, in our own environment, our own surroundings. They came and disrupted that by the hands of ourselves. They didn't even know where we were in the jungles. They didn't know where we were at. They persuaded Black people to tell them where we were. So that's like, quote unquote, if I could use this for a word that may make sense, that is just like what's going on today. We as Black people are always tearing each other down. We're always blowing up each other's spot instead of helping each other. That didn't just start now in our communities. That's been going on since we've brought over here. When the Europeans went over there, they didn't know where we were. I don't know. They saw some Black people and was like, hey, tell me where your people are. Okay, come on, let's go. I'll give you this.
But we also had good intention. Well,
right, that's what I'm saying. It was good intention because of the bribery that was provided.
Right. What would they get from it? It was a quid pro quo. Yeah, what would we get from it?
Right.
Look, some of these comments are interesting. We're gonna unpack these comments. So hold on, let me scroll up because y'all drop. So King said it's really the other way around. So I think King was talking about so King, correct me if I'm wrong, do you feel that educated Blacks or more affluent Blacks look down on the less educated and be like, yo, you acting too Black?
I think that's true. Yeah, that's true in business as well.
Okay, and then Cheryl said, I think some people feel shame when they feel that the educated person has disconnected themselves from the community. Yes, I know. I do think that that is true, because if you grow up in the hood and you happen to come on some money and you move out the hood, oh, you too good to live in the hood? Well, I'm not too good to live in the hood, but I want hot water. I want my kids to have a better chance, so nothing against the hood per se. The hood raised me, the hood made me who I am, but I know there is something better so that I can come back and help the hood. That's just me. Sean Poole said, typical shaming occurs when there isn't a level playing ground for all children. Solid point. That's when we talk about equity, equity versus equality. Very, very, very good point. That's what I'm saying. So yes, Sean, there's not a level playing field for Black children when it comes to educational system. It's not level. It's not level. And then when the mother tries to get her kid into a better school, the mother's sent to jail for falsifying the address. We get, that's how it is. Then let me see. Go ahead, Dave.
Well, it goes beyond that. It's not a level playing field for Black adults in college, in school. So it's not just the children, it's the people that want to further their education and things like that. Over in other countries and stuff, I believe, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, you can go to school for free. You know what I'm saying?
Stuff?
Yeah.
You get that bachelor for free, yeah.
But over here, it's like you got to pay an arm and a leg just to go to school to get a degree. And then it's hard for you to find a job in that degree because your name is Daquan. And this trips me out. And I was going to say this before. It's a shame that we as Afro-Americans and brown people have to name our children a certain name so that when they go and apply for a job, they don't get discriminated against. That's crazy.
That is true. That is true. And Joseph mentioned that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Talking about racially ambiguous names so your kid can have a fighting chance.
Yeah.
I think that is true. That's true. Cheryl said, I also believe that too Black is when someone acts as a character of Black stereotypes perpetuated by white people. Yeah, when you're fitting into that identity that white people say Black people are. Like, don't all of y'all act like that? No, we don't all act like that, but we all can if you want to, because we all can be about it, and I think, that's what I love about being Black, because if you good Black, you know how to code switch, and code switching is not a bad thing. To me, code switching is not a bad thing. When you're able to fit into all the different environments of Blackness and just have a good time, I think that's great. I don't turn my nose up in any space that I'm in. I'm able to navigate all environments. The environments that some folks feel like, well, that's not safe. I'm going to be safe because I know how to interact with people. I know what to do. I know what to say. But some people, some Blacks are scared of other Blacks, which is what I cannot stand. I can't stand when people are like, well, that kind of Black person scares me. Well, Black is Black. I'm not saying just go put yourself in harm's way, but if I don't know the experience of that population or the experience of that Black person and what pushed that Black person to behave a certain way, I want to find out. I want to sit and have dialogue. Let's talk. What's going on? I love what Brian said when I talked about the dialect and the language and them calling us dumb and whatnot. Brian said, no, we didn't sound dumb. We sound just like the people who taught us the language. Basically. So if you talking to me in an accent, guess what? I'm going to pick up your accent. So if you think I sound stupid, I sound just like you. When I was stationed in Texas for 4 years, and when I came home, my mom was like, boy, you sure do talk slow now. I'm like, well, I've been in slow Texas for 4 years, so the drawl came. I had a friend that moved to New York. When she came back from New York after living there for like 9 or 10 years, she had the whole New York accent. I'm like, yo, you're from LA, right? But when you're surrounded by certain dialects, you're going to pick it up. Dana, you're not frozen, are you?
No, I'm just listening to what you're saying and agreeing with you because, that's like us right now trying to learn a different language, Spanish, French, Italian, something like that. It's like, it's going to sound weird and it's going to sound crazy because our pronunciations of those words, of certain things, is gonna make us sound like, yo, you know what I mean? So, but that's just common sense. But when you deal with people that have no common sense, of course, the first thing that's gonna fly out of their mouth is something ignorant.
Right, right. Thais hit the nail on the head. Thais, that's it right there. Race is a social construct. Do you guys know that? Does everyone know that race is a social construct? So our perceptions are based off of something that really doesn't even exist. We put ourselves in boxes, demographics, and categories. Yeah, basically, in a nutshell, race is a social construct. And it was a social construct to create hierarchies. You know, and the hierarchies, it leveled people where the person in power felt this other demographic should be. It's been going on since the beginning of time. We always hear people say, yeah, but we're all part of the human race. Yeah, we all are part of the human race. However, humanity found a way to create social structures within the human race that elevated some over the others. And then those layers start layering on down, you know, and you go to other countries, you got the caste system, caste. You got the caste system. You got folks who are of a lighter hue, you know, they're more privileged. They're viewed as more privileged than those that are darker. You know, dark skin, you know, has never been something within these constructs that has been respected, valued, and appreciated. Because the European power really made that light skin, that skin that can sunburn easy, for some reason that became the powerhouse. You know, well, unless you go to Africa, because you know we buy it, we chocolate, we love it. So yes, Thais, nail on the head. Race is a social construct, and I think that it is unfair for us, you know, to classify how black someone is. So yes, I'm team level playing field, and I did pose the question, but to classify someone's blackness or to judge someone's blackness based upon behavior, to me is just ignorant, because black is black.
But again, we are the only ones that do that to each other.
No, other countries do it.
I've never heard somebody say you're not white enough.
Well, other countries that ain't white. I mean, but other countries, they definitely do it. If you and anybody get mad, because I was in India. If you go to India, India has a huge caste system. You know, if you go to India, the light-skinned Indian women and the light-skinned Indian men, those are on all the billboards. That's Bollywood. Those are the celebrities.
Right, exactly.
The darker the person, the lower they are on the caste system. They're viewed as just not worthy. So they do, yes, they do it in Mexico.
And I think those people I think darker Indians are beautiful.
Yeah, well, so do I.
Yeah, they're beautiful people.
Mexico has a caste system too. It's a caste system in Latin America, you know, and I talked to a few Latino friends and they broke it down. And Latinos, they're savage when it comes to skin color and all that kind of stuff. Now, we can do a show about that. I'll pull some of them on and they can break it all the way down. But yeah, so it's not just blacks. You know, colorism is huge globally. Globally, colorism is a problem. But just sticking to the topic at hand, you know, as black people, we got to really dissect, why do we treat other blacks differently? You know, and I'm talking about Black Americans, because then, you know, we got Afro-American, Afro-Caribbean, Afro-American, we got all that kind of stuff. But why do we do that to each other? Why do we negate someone's blackness or their level of blackness when we don't know their experience? Right. You know, similar to how you get clown Dana by Kwame because you're from Buffalo, New York, and not the city.
It doesn't even matter to me.
Because New York is New York. You're still from New York.
Right, and Kwame's light skin.
So I'm gonna ask the village. So village, when it comes to this, what do you think can be done within the black community to level the playing field? I'm talking blacks amongst blacks. You know, I should get Michelle Fernandez on here to talk about colorism within Latino communities. But as far as in the black community, what can be done? What can we do to start improving interactions between blacks? What can be done? And I'll wait for y'all to respond. And as you respond, Dana, talk about the Donta show. Give me a YouTube commercial break or something.
Hey, you know what? Again, thank you guys for watching us. We took.
Thank you for watching, dog. We ain't ending the show.
No, I know. You just asked me to do something.
I did. Let me. That's my. I'm a control freak. I'll back up. Go.
Let's start over.
All right. So Dana, tell the folks about, and while they do that, tell the folks about how they can follow us on YouTube and all that good stuff.
Oh, see, you changed the question up. You get on my nerves. Follow us on YouTube at The Donta Show. YouTube.com/The Donta Show. Donta Morrison, I'm sorry. Click that subscribe button. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody about it. Subscribe. You understand what I'm saying? Like I say all the time, y'all still getting Finger Hut. Y'all still getting Essence Magazine. Y'all still getting do they make it Vibe anymore? Y'all getting Vibe, Jet, all that. JCPenney magazines. Some of y'all can't even fit some of them JCPenney's clothes, but y'all getting the magazine. Okay.
Getting the Spiegel catalog, getting Hustler.
Spiegel, East Bay. Man, y'all, I'm taking it back. So
East Bay. I need some cleats and a jersey.
Right. So just go ahead and subscribe to that Donta Show. You know what I mean?
Most damn. Let's look at these comments. So Brian Reveal said, get married and have lots of babies. The goal is to multiply at higher numbers. There's power in numbers. Listen, increase your village. Increase your village. Make your household be a house of 10. That's 10 voters. You know, so numbers matter.
Have a weak pullout game.
Listen. Donisha White over there on YouTube said, show each other respect. That's huge. Really, Donisha, that's huge. Show each other respect. Respect everyone's journey. Respect everyone's identity. Respect where everyone lands. If they check black on the box, you know,
respect everyone's gangster.
Right. Cheryl Bailey said, educate and realize that the real problem is white supremacy ideology. Cheryl, listen, I'm going to get you on this show. We're going to unpack that because that is my dissertation. My dissertation talks about white supremacy ideology. Cheryl, folks are scared to talk about it, but we got to talk about it because as we can see in Texas, they don't care nothing about us, our history, our legacy, our contributions. So why are we suppressing that conversation about white supremacy ideology? Cheryl, let me know when you want to come on. We're going to unpack that. All right, here we go. Joseph said, what can be done? Teaching other Black people that the Black experience varies and that we don't have to fit a mold. Yes, every Black person has a different experience. Even those in your circle have had a different experience than you. Every Black person is on a path that is going to get them to greatness, however greatness looks for them. We need to respect it. Sean said, stop relying on the world to teach our history to our children. Learn and embrace our culture. Sean, yes, we first must understand what our culture is.
Exactly, because we don't know.
We asked that question on the show. We must first understand what is the Black culture. I know it can be simplified. Again, it's not monolithic. So what is the Black culture? But I agree with you, Sean. We got to teach our own children. We have to do that. Cheryl said, number 2, understand that division is caused by lack of understanding others' experiences. Listen, same page. Speak, Holy Ghost. More educated or financially able people need to go back into the community and connect. And to footnote what you said about more educated or financially able people need to go back into the community and connect, those people who they are trying to connect with in the community need to sit there and be ready to receive and not have these walls up. What this uppity Negro finna tell me? What this old bougie Black brother finna come and tell me? This bougie Black brother was you at one point. You don't know everybody's story. You don't know what they've been through.
I agree with Cheryl to a degree, to an extent. Some people that are, what did she say, financially able and financially well off, going back to the community also can be dangerous. They take risk of getting robbed out of jealousy, hurt, anything like that. So that could be another reason why a lot of people don't go back to the community when they're financially well off, better.
I mean, that's true. I mean, the hood got enemies. Eddie, if you're watching, your computer is ringing. Your computer is ringing, Eddie Eason. Your computer is ringing. Come and answer your computer. There. All right. And then the last one before we close out tonight's show.
Oh my God.
Said, can we learn to tolerate each other and teach our people to nurture? It's all about spreading love.
Instead of spreading lies.
We have to just, we got to spread love.
Instead of spreading lies.
And as you know, neither myself or Dana, we don't like bullying of any kind. We believe in just spreading love and just being just these conduits that are going to make everyone just feel welcome in whatever space they're in. So if you don't understand the individual, take the time to get to know that person, know their journey, know what they've been through. It's not always about you. Dana?
I agree. It's always not about you, Dante.
And as we wrap up tonight's show, y'all, listen up. Real talk. We love and appreciate y'all. If you have been a part of the village from day one or today, just know that Dana and we thank you so much for just rocking with us. There's nothing like the TDS village. You guys motivate us. You guys inspire us. You guys encourage us. You guys also challenge us because we want to make sure that we're constantly bringing content that is going to really motivate and bring about shifts within the Black community, Black and brown communities, because so much stuff is going on. You have your choice of shows you can watch, but to sit with us for an hour really means a lot. So we truly do thank you. Thank you for all of you that have subscribed to us on YouTube, followed us on Facebook, our Instagram page, all that. We thank you. And we promise you we're going to level this up and we're going to make it better and better and better and better.
Dana? Hey, before we get out of here, we got to spread love.
Instead of spreading lies.
We got to spread love.
Instead of spreading lies. Yeah.
Follow me on Instagram at DNA716. We love you guys. We can't say it enough. Thank you so much for tuning in each week. And like Dante said, we about to level this thing up. Look forward to great things coming in the near future.
Yep. And make sure to follow me on Instagram, Dante_Morrison, Dante_Morrison. Just follow. I post some stuff, but I do what I can. But we thank you. We appreciate you. We will see you guys next Monday right here on Facebook Live and YouTube for another phenomenal episode of The Dante Show. And if you would like to be a guest on The Dante Show, please make sure to visit pyromedianetwork.com, pyromedianetwork.com. And you have the option to be not only a guest on The Dante Show, but there's a lot of other shows as well. So check out pyromedia.com today. Or if you or someone would like to have a show similar to the Dante Show, or you need a photo shoot, you need a website, you need something done, reach out to Kwame Corbett and the Pyro Media family, and they will hook you up. They will take care of you. Listen, everyone, thank you so much. Please continue to be safe, wear your mask, social distance. If you're not vaccinated, be super duper safe, because this new variant is really hitting people who are not vaccinated extremely hard. So if you're not vaccinated, please wear that mask. Notice I didn't say run and get vaccinated. I am saying wear that mask, wash those hands, social distance, practice social distancing, and stay far away from the house parties, the clubs, the bars, all that kind of stuff until we get this thing under control. If you are not vaccinated, please do your part to stay safe. All right. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you next week. Take care and God bless.
Peace.